Else, I think it's so valuable to get kids at a young age exposed to philanthropy, understanding what it's all about, to play beyond the game, to give to a cause greater than your own, and this game certainly does that.
It certainly does do that. RCN sponsored a banquet last evening for the football players. Their families were there. Well over 360 people were there for that, and I think they learned that lesson last night in talking about what the charity is all about. But it's always interesting, too. You bring rivalries together to play on the same football team. The kids were told that it's not important who wins or loses. They really turned that off. That is kind of important to everybody that steps on the field.
Anybody who's ever laced them up, Gary, after the first block or the first tackle, game on. They're going to do that. Now, the kind of blanket statement in sports is play hard, play smart, and play together. The one element of this kind of game, any all-star game, and it's different in football. In basketball, a little bit of non-contact sport, take that in context, but football is a contact sport, and Gary, playing hard, playing smart, and playing together is very important because you don't want unnecessary injuries. Injuries happen when you take a play off, when you go through the motions, or you do something in an undisciplined fashion.
And many of you that have been around the game of football, imagine just 7 practices to put together an offense and a defense. Defense a little bit easier, and usually they're a little bit ahead of the offenses. But tonight we've got 4 outstanding quarterbacks, a number of terrific wide receivers. And what they want here for this game is action. I think we're going to see some action.
And to that end, Gary, each team is required. Now, I don't know who's keeping score. I think they said you are. You got to throw the ball at least 20 times. Silly me, I thought it was a safety issue. They want scoring. So you mentioned it was some of the great skill players and the kind of watered down offenses and defenses. We hope to see a lot of points.
Well, one of the things to watch out for tonight on the sideline is Tony Coco will be down there. And it's always an enjoyable game. It's a little hot, it's a little humid, but we've had worse weather than this. The kids are ready to play football. We'll be back with tonight's kickoff right after this timeout. Along with the Whitehall Zephyrs and the New Jersey State champions, Phillipsburg High School. So well represented, John, here in talent tonight. And boy, some of these kids have set some amazing school records. We'll try to get to some of them, but certainly it's going to be a little hard to get to all of them.
It really will be, Gary. You know, Chris Michael and I had the pleasure of doing a lot of Colonial League games last year, and we haven't talked a lot about X's and O's as we take a look at Joe Hendricks, the coach of the gold team. In the course of doing those Colonial League games, we had a chance to watch Zach Bradley throw to Paris Marshall. It'll be interesting. Those two guys will be pitching and catching to each other tonight.
Tony Coco on the sidelines. I think he wanted to chat with him. He does have Joe Hendricks. So here's Tony.
Gold team going with a little bit of a hurry up, Gary. No huddle.
Cook has some time, and he has a man to look at the red offense. And it will be led by Zach Bradley, the record-setting Catasauqua quarterback, headed to Franklin and Marshall. 3,047 yards passing last year, a school record. 43 touchdowns, a school record. 5,267 yards in his career, a school record. 74 touchdowns in his career, a school record.
We talked a lot about Catasauqua and how many times we saw them on RCN last fall. And if Zach Bradley was happy with Tommy Falzone throwing the ball around, he must be in heaven right now with Jimmy Terwilliger.
Well, there's a little hook and ladder, and that might have gone for a touchdown. As trying to flip the ball was Ryan Lobb. I'll check it. Trying to flip the ball was Paris Marshall. 2, Eli Redmond, and Redmond blocked the football and it rolled out of bounds.
Well, right off the bat, Jimmy Terwilliger's fingerprints are all over this offense. If you followed his career up at East Stroudsburg, he played quarterback at 5'10". He put up video game numbers, and he just loves to improvise.
7-yard gain, get the ball out, and that pass is dropped. So far, the only guys that look like they're not in mid-season form are the wide receivers. And we throw.
You just wonder how much of it is just, just not being sharp. Right now, the receivers have shown up to a dodgeball game. It's catch it, guys. The quarterback's up your quarterback out.
Even playing that game, they're not getting out of the way. It's hitting them in the head.
That's right.
3rd and 3 from the 20. Rolling, Bradley looking, flipping. That's a good catch. Turning it upfield. That's Z. Roberson. Roberson 6'2", 180.
Yeah, just man-to-man on the edge. Again, that's what they have to do. The defenses have to play man-to-man. So, Gary, I really think these wide receivers are going to shake the early game jitters, and they're going to get into stride. We're going to see a lot of up and down the field tonight.
Gain of 6 yards to the 26-yard line. Brings up a 1st and 10. Has good cutback and
get into some open space because he can absolutely fly.
Whatever, the great young men, and plenty of them on these two teams, but he is a lot of fun to talk to. Nice catch. Paris Marshall could go. 40, 35, 30. Paris Marshall is going to go all the way, teammate to teammate, for 70 43 yards.
We talked about it, Gary. We talked about the fact that Zach Bradley and Paris Marshall have been playing catch for 4 years now. Watch the move right before he catches the ball, or right after. Right here, he's going to get hit. And right there's the move. He avoids the defender as he's catching the football. What a great athletic play by Paris Marshall, and a perfect strike from Zach Bradley.
73-yard touchdown as Zach Bradley completes it to Paris Marshall. His teammate in to kick the extra point is Nick Newton. It's down, the kick is up, and the kick from here looks pretty good. It is good. 8:47 on the clock, first period. It's 7-0 in favor of the Red Squad. All right, Tony, thank you very much.
It's interesting to hear, Tony's coach's perspective. It's the details as we take a look. Watch the move right there. As Paris Marshall catches that ball, he senses the defense closing in. So all in one motion, Gary, he catches the football, avoids the defense, and with his speed, once he gets into open space, he's gone.
Paris Marshall, one of the best players in the Lehigh Valley. School record 76 catches last season, 1,566 yards and 20 touchdowns, all school records. As Newton's
At least, Jim Terwilliger, he's right at home in this kind of scenario.
Zach Bradley back in there at quarterback. So the coaches look like they may be doing quarters with their quarterbacks. That ball thrown out, and again, that one hits the hands of the intended receiver, and that was R.J. Sarajian.
Practice doesn't mean anything. I think and Tony spoke to this, it's the details, looking the ball into your hands, catching it with your hands, and that's where the chink in the armor is for both of these teams so far tonight.
Back again, firing the ball out here to Jake Del Priore. Del Priore will get tackled immediately at the 20-yard line. Coming up, we'll give you the assistant coaches as Redmond in the backfield along with Zach Bradley. So Bradley is going to go the whole first quarter. He's back here. He throws a bullet out here that's caught by Paris Marshall. Marshall gets a block from Jake Del Priore and turns it upfield to get to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, coaches will talk about winning first down, and this is an effective, nice catch by Marshall. They had to go down to get it. But again, Gary, you keep yourself in a manageable...
3 from the 43. Rolling, Bradley, looking, Bradley. He's in trouble, Bradley. And he'll skirt the end. He's going to get a first down. Does a nice job of keeping his head out of bounds a yard shy of the first down. So they'll mark it at the 44, a gain of 2.
Eyes are always downfield, Gary. I think the play was designed maybe to go to Redmond, but and he got what he could on his own.
See if they go to Redmond here. He's got it. And he's got from the 48-yard line. Back to throw, Bradley. Again, he's got a man, a little hook pattern. And turning it upfield, watch out. Down the sideline. That's going to be another touchdown for the Red Squad as this one goes to Z.
180. And Gary, how about the acceleration? Once he first of all, Bradley does a great job getting the ball out to him on time. When you can get the ball to your receiver in that situation, Gary, it lets his athleticism take over. And boy, you got a glimpse of Z. Roberson's athleticism on that play.
Bradley's second touchdown pass of the game to Roberson. Bradley is now 6 for 9 for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. The extra point, the kick is up. It looks good from here. It is good. And so far, it's all red. As they lead this ball game by a 14-0 score, they've used the right arm of Zach Bradley.
They certainly have, Gary. And again, he's got great vision and a great feel for the game. Again, Chris Michael and I did a number of Catasauqua's games. It was so much fun watching him throw the football, and boy, he's got a bevy of talent to work with tonight, and his skills are coming through.
So a 73-yard touchdown pass to Paris Marshall, a 52-yard touchdown pass to Z. Roberson. Roberson now 2 catches, 58 yards. Marshall 3 catches for 87 yards. Probably the 2 fastest guys on the team, and they're getting them the football and letting them make a play.
Football. And I'm telling you, it's bragging rights. I'm looking at this game, and I'm thinking it's league versus league, and it's simply an ego thing, and they want to go out there and they want to pound each other, let's face it. And the guys that lose this game are not going to feel happy because they don't get french fries for a year. So back to you guys.
You got it exactly right. The gold team won last year by a 13-8 score, so the red team has a little bit to prove. Troxel kept the football and got nothing. He's going to lose 4 yards.
Looks like Devin Flores. Watch number 44. He's one of the guys in there. number 89 as well, Stephen English for the red team.
From his team, and from me last night, he's featured in a morning call ad, and it's a full-page ad for Eli, and he's just got a great personality, John. He's one of those guys that makes you smile. I kidded with him last night about him giving autographs after the banquet was over, because nobody...
all those teeth, and it was like, here we go. He's in the end zone. He's going to be looking me up, guys. Back to you.
All right, Tom, good to see Rob. Wish him our very best, and we're going to get a first down here on a carry by Kyle Bamberry as he gets tackled after the 5-yard offside penalty. Jared Nozzle is there to make the tackle. As that ball down to the 46-yard line, they'll call it the 45, and that'll be a gain of 4.
Let's see if the goal team doesn't kind of do a little more of that, Gary. We've seen the ball being thrown all over the place today. You wonder if they might want to get this game under control, establish that line of scrimmage, and try to loosen things up for the pass game.
Would not be a bad idea. They certainly want to keep the ball in their hands because the Red Squad has been dynamic offensively so far. Cook is back. He's getting rushed. Coming down. Barron down on him, but unable to get him is Josh Benning. I'll tell you, Josiah. So here's a big play. 3rd and goal to go from the 4-yard line. As they've got a full house backfield for the first time. That didn't work out too well. And I think the ball is recovered by the Red Squad. As there's a miscommunication, they tried a new formation. Fumble is recovered by Devin Flores. First turnover of the football game, and it's a big one. Let's go down to Tony as he can develop.
If he doesn't like it, either Manning wasn't quite as tough as Tom Brady. So that's from Dan Copen, who now has a golden butt cheeks. Back to you guys.
Well, here we go. This is going to be end-to-end. Jake Del Priore is going to go 93 yards for the touchdown. 93-yard touchdown pass.
Gary, we talked about the man-to-man defense. Someone missed an assignment. And there's nobody rolling over the top. There's no deep safety.
Brandon Leap, John.
Yeah, this is all man-to-man, and I'll tell you what, they've been so successful with that swing pass. When we take a look at it again, you're going to see the safety come up, Gary. He's going to come up, and he's going to cover that swing pass. And, boy, that allows Del Priore to just roam all alone deep. Wow.
Jake Del Priore of Southern Lehigh, school record 64 catches this year, 1,006 yards, another school record. As the extra point this time is blocked.
Number 1 and number 2, they didn't need any first downs because every scoring play was like 80 yards, so they got it all in bunches. But the numbers bear it out. The red team's having a little bit of difficulty. Well, they shouldn't say that. They haven't even tried to run the football.
2 sacks.
Yeah, so it's like, why not go with what's working? 309 passing yards. But really, Gary, the rules have helped the goal get back in this football game, but it is what we thought it would be, an offensive explosion. The rules kind of encourage that, and the players have lived up to it.
So there you see the numbers. Now let's go to the highlights.
So it started off early on. Nick Cook, a great look right here to, I'm sorry, that's Bradley doing a nice job finding Paris Marshall, doing a terrific job. And the catch, and then here's Nick Savant. A little swing pass. The Gold had some things going on early on. And once again, now it's Nick Cook on the little reverse to Figler. And look at the defensive play right here by Sam Goodson. He did a nice job spinning him out of bounds. Doing again, the defensive line, the red team has done a good job containing. This is Tyler Troxel doing a nice job. Again, a little swing pass that's been successful. But once again, it's number 35, Sam Goodson, doing a nice job out in open space. Boy, I'll tell you what, that's Zeke Roberson. A great job, a little out pattern. He does all the rest. And once you get the ball to Eli Redmond in open space, he is an absolute jet. Watch the block at the end of the play by Paris Marshall, and Redmond takes it in, another one of the big plays by the red team. Good return here, gives the goal team good field position. This was a huge play, Gary. They were knocking on the door, one of the few turnovers. It was Gordon Vito who recovered. Brendan Vito recovered it, and that led to another big play. Jacob Del Priore really crossing up the goal defense, and nice play by Matt Turk to come back to the football from his quarterback, doing a nice job, staying alive. It does not, take effect at the change of the half. Otherwise, the goal would have gotten it back, but that would seem downright unfair.
Yeah,
we haven't seen the red on offense forever.
So it will be Zach Bradley in at quarterback. Bradley has been nothing but flat out terrific. And he gets the ball right to legend Boyerson. And Boyerson takes it up over the 40. That's going to be a first down immediately, as he'll get it to the 42-yard line. 43 is where they'll mark it. A gain of 14 as he's tackled on the play by Justin Best.
We had a great look at that play. The pass came right toward us, Gary, and you had an illustration of how accurate Zach Bradley. We talked about Nick Cook's accuracy. Zach Bradley led legend right to where he needed to go.
That's the 8th first down. We got a man downfield. And what a terrific catch and a great pass to Del Priori. And that one is all the way down to the 22-yard line. That's going to be a 49-yard pass play.
Watch him look off the defense right there. A little hitch to the outside, and this is an absolute laser shot. Great hands by Del Priori to haul it in, but how well executed was that pass play?
Down to the 22, they pick up 49, back-to-back first downs. And rushing with the football is Amir Blair. And Blair will get inside the 20. Looks like he got to about the 17 or 18-yard line. Tackled on the play by, and the ball at the 17. Yes, 8 yards. Back to throw, looking, firing, and that went a little bit underneath. That's the first time I think Bradley's thrown a poor pass. And it probably was good that it was a poor pass.
Yeah, and for that reason, Gary, I'm wondering if, given his accuracy, I wonder if it was a poor pass. This might have been a decision. He's got to throw this ball low and outside where only his receiver can get to it because the coverage was there.
So it brings up a 3rd and 5 from the 17. Red team trying to stop a 14-point surge here by the Gold Squad. And that's a touchdown. Terrific catch by Paris Marshall. I'll tell you what, the Bradley to Marshall combination the last few years has been virtually unstoppable. 17-yard touchdown.
Gary, again, our angle was priceless. I mean, this ball is thrown to the open shoulder, and it allows Paris Marshall to turn to the opening. You can't fault the coverage. This is great defense, but it's indefensible when the execution is that crisp. Wow, what a play.
Marshall's 2nd of the night, Bradley's 3rd of the night. And Nick Newton is back in to kick what would be his 5th extra point of the night. The drive, 71 yards in 5 plays. The kick is up, the kick is good, and the Red Squad immediately comes out of the locker room and puts 7 up on the board. Here's Tony.
Hey, I'm impressed that there's no cramping out here with these kids right now. Usually a night like today is going to prolong it because you're going to see them laying down and they're going to be pushing it. That's a testament to the kids keeping in shape, drinking a lot of fluids and getting there. As far as the red team coming out here, they didn't miss a beat. They finally got the ball. It's like, hey, give me the ball, let's just score. It's like watching, hey, we're talking about it. It's like watching Tom Brady picking somebody apart there, guys. Back to the booth with you guys.
It is hot and humid. No question about it. Let's take another look at the touchdown, John.
Well, we've had a lot to choose from, but this, in my estimation, is the best pass of the night. I mean, the coverage is perfect, but you cannot throw the ball any better than that. Gary, during Tony's little interlude there, I asked you, Bradley, now 9 for 13, 230 yards, and 3 TDs. Gary, I asked you during the break where he was going, and I think he's got the ideal school in mind for him. Franklin and Marshall out in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, great Division III, good academics, and a terrific football program.
Isn't that John Troxel? Isn't he the head coach there, John?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so John.
Phillipsburg quarterback and Lafayette, I think, defensive back in college.
Defensive coach, yeah, defensive back, and coached there for a while, and he's come back to bring some guys down to Lancaster from the Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, he's one of Frank Devani's favorites, and he's done a great job at F&M, and that's where Zach Bradley will go. Well, the ball in the 37-yard line.
Over that last throw, you can only throw a ball so well, and it isn't as if that we've plucked one pass from a number. I mean, his accuracy has been absolutely incredible.
So in at quarterback is Tyler Trout. Drive that started on the 37 and went all the way down to the 20, and that's where the drive stalled for the Gold team.
Zach Bradley.
That leap will roll to his left. Oh, he's got nice. throws the ball complete to Sarajian. And we'll go to Tony right after this play. Back to throw the ball. And another little screen pass over the middle to Redmond. And Redmond will pick up a red.
Fade pattern. Back to you.
And of course, you have to give the defender some slack because it's all man-to-man. And again, it's Paris Marshall. And Paris Marshall just runs away from everybody. He has been just spectacular tonight. That's a 63-yard touchdown for the Red Squad.
Gary, you know, in hindsight, it's easy to say this, but when you've got two game breakers like Paris Marshall and Eli Redmond, and defensively, you're not allowed to scheme to stop those guys, this kind of stuff's going to happen. Now, granted, the goal team has just as many game-breaking players, but I got to tell you, between Paris Marshall and Eli Redmond, that is a tough defense, you know, to orchestrate to stop those two guys.
Well, that's Marshall's third touchdown catch of the ball game. For Leap, that's his third touchdown pass of the ball game. As these quarterback wide receiver combinations are just lighting things up here for the Red Squad. The kick is good. As you want to talk some offense as we get the kickoff. Marshall 5 catches, 167 yards and 3 touchdowns. As we get a run back here to about the 25. That pass, by the way, was by Zach Bradley. He's now 12 for 16 for 308 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Bradley-Marshall lethal combination continues for one more game. Penalty flag is thrown on the kickoff.
Yeah, so we'll sort this out. But, you know, to Tony's point, let's take a look at the run back here, and it's number 4, Deshaun Russell. We've seen him return a couple.